Hi, this is Mr. Mike for the Mechanicsburg Learning Center with episode number 63 of Mr. Mike's Dino-A-Day. Thank you for tuning in. We do this live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then we post every video at Mr. Mike Sgrignoli's not only website, but YouTube page. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching and learning about a new exotic ancient animal every single day during this quarantine. Today's animal is, I always say they're interesting, but I'm fascinated by all of them. The name is KRYPTOPS. KRYPTOPS, not the longest name in the world, and it's not necessarily a distinctive looking dinosaur. It looked like a smaller version of T-Rex. It didn't have the gigantic, menacing teeth that T-Rex possessed, and there's a reason for that. Its teeth were actually smaller and very sharp. It wasn't made to necessarily chase down prey. It was made to scavenge prey that somebody else already took care of. So KRYPTOPS was discovered in 2000 in Niger by a team led by Paul Sereno. Now, Sereno has become famous. He's a Chicago area paleontologist, and he's become famous for some notable dinosaurs in recent years. He described Nigersaurus, and he's done some work on Spinosaurus. He's done work on a lot of famous dinosaurs, and he is one of the most recognizable personalities in paleontology today. So back in 2000, a team of his went into northern Africa and actually found a couple of dinosaurs. And it was interesting, the dichotomy between the two. One was definitely a predator. One was definitely made up to chase and kill and then eat other dinosaurs, definitely carnivorous. Whereas the other one was built slightly differently. Teeth were smaller, but the teeth were specially designed to strip bone, to clean up the carcass after someone else ate it. So this animal would probably follow around packs of other animals or singular animals and wait for them to make a kill. They eat a few bites, and then our friend KRYPTOPS came up and said, okay, it's my turn. And it's interesting how the animal kingdom works. So this thing lived about 110 million years ago. It was about 20 to 25 feet long. It was bipedal, walked on two legs. Not really, no models have been made of it that I'm aware, so we don't really have anything to show you. Just imagine a smaller version of T-Rex with a little bit smaller teeth. Thing that made it very interesting, there was only the front portion of the cranium that was discovered. It showed the teeth, it showed what the shape of it was like, and then it showed something else that I haven't come across on other dinosaurs so far. I'm sure it's out there, but it just hasn't come to my attention yet. It had some sort of keratinous, or made of keratin, which is what your fingernails are made of, some sort of covering on the face. They described it as a mask that had blood vessels flowing through it that obviously kept it growing. But it was some hardened, let's call it, they also said it could have been some sort of beak-like structure, but it was some sort of mask that protected the face. And when you start thinking about scavengers, around our area here in central Pennsylvania, we have these turkey buzzards that fly over. They circle, and when you see 2 or 3 of them circling, you know that there's something down below that they're about to ingest. And the thing about turkey buzzards is their face is different from the rest of their body. Their head has very little feathers. It's mostly skin. Some people think they're kind of ugly. I happen to think they're kind of cute. But these animals were designed this way because feathers, if it was fully covered in feathers, the turkey buzzard, then it would house bacteria from the dead animals that it eats. And nature doesn't want that to happen, so nature removed its feathers and gave it skin, which is less likely to collect the bacteria from a dead animal. So buzzards are designed to eat carrion. They're designed to eat dead animals, and maybe this plate on the front of KRYPTOPS was designed to do the same thing. It lived alongside another animal, which was discovered by Paul Sereno at the same time in the same layer of rock, about 100 million years old, and that was called Eocarcharia. Now, Carcharia has to do with sharks. Eo means early. So it's not an early shark, but it's referring to the teeth of Eocarcharia. You may have heard of Carcharodontosaurus. That would mean Donto has to do with teeth, so it's shark-teethed lizard or shark-toothed lizard because they were long and sharp and serrated. So our friend KRYPTOPS lived alongside Eocarcharia, and here you have Eocarcharia being a perfect predator, and then here you have KRYPTOPS being the perfect scavenger. So they worked their neighborhood jointly. One would kill it and eat some of it, and the other would come by and clean up the mess. So this all took place, all the findings took place in 2000, and then Paul Serino and an associate of his, Stephen Broussette, they named it in 2008. So it's a relatively new species of dinosaur, and we get to talk about two of them because of the very incredible discovery made in what was at one time Northern Africa. It's Northern Africa now, but back then it was something called Gondwana. That's when the giant landmass Pangaea split into two, Laurasia and Gondwana. Gondwana was the southern half, and that's where these were found. So, interestingly, T-Rex remains have not been found in those southernmost areas. T-Rex basically lived further up north. So, what we could say is that this Eocarcharia and its friend KRYPTOPS, who we're talking about today, were kind of like the cousins of the T-Rex, and they took care of the southern areas. It is related to an albilosaur. If you look at Abilosaurus, it is the sort of the prototype animal that tells you what this animal looked like. But they call it a basal or early Abilosaur. So Abilosaurs look different as the years and the eons and the millions of years pass. So this was an early Abilosaur. And they liken it to a modern-day hyena. Hyenas aren't necessarily known for being a predator. They do. They will attack animals and chase them, but their biggest thing is becoming scavengers. They have the teeth to be a scavenger, to tear into the bone and to clean the bone and all sorts of nasty things. So let's do a brand new poem dedicated to our new friend, KRYPTOPS. Name is spelled K-R-Y-P-T, Crypt, Ops, O-P-S. Ops refers to the face, so KRYPTOPS means hidden face, and its second name is palaios, which means old. So if we take its name in complete form, it means old, hidden face, KRYPTOPS. Brand new poem from Mr. Mike, episode 63 of Mr. Mike's Dino-A-Day, brought to you by the Mechanicsburg Learning Center. We do this live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we post all of our videos to Mr. Mike Sgrignoli's YouTube page. Feel free to like and to subscribe. KRYPTOPS. Not every ancient dinosaur was good at hunting prey, and though it had a taste for meat, the target got away. So if you were a carnivore, you'd have to figure out a way to find a decent bite, or you would go without. In what was once Gondwana, we have found a dinosaur not gifted as a predator. That task was one tough chore. So it decided right away that it could well subsist on what another dino killed and what it then dismissed. The beast, we've named it KRYPTOPS, and it was a scavenger. And it was self-aware to know it was an amateur. It left the hunting to the other dinosaurs around, and then grabbed a carcass, swallowing what it could then choke down. A bit like a hyena that in Africa now dwells, instinctively it found a meal by utilizing smells. Beside Eocarcharia, a dino made to hunt, Crypt watched it take down dinosaurs, and then it would confront. The KRYPTOPS didn't own such teeth to hunt a beast alone. The teeth's design, however, was just perfect to strip bone. Its face had some strange covering, perhaps a mask or beak, allowing it to exercise its bone-stripping technique. And that is where we got its name. It means old hidden face. Its skills at scavenging were such it didn't need to chase. So every dinosaur, it seems, stayed with what it did best. Some were to hunt, others to run, and some cleaned up the mess. KRYPTOPS, our Dino of the Day for episode 63, brought to you by the Mechanicsburg Learning Center. Thank you for watching. Thank you for learning. Thank you for paying attention. Good to see you all. So we do this every day, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time if you would like to watch it live. And if you watch it on YouTube, please subscribe and please like the video. Thanks again. We'll do it again tomorrow. And we'll see you then for yet another episode of Mr. Mike's Dino-A-Day, brought to you by the Mechanicsburg Learning Center. Tomorrow's episode, number 64. Stay tuned.